Good morning. Hi, baby Lily. Good morning, cubies and newbies. I am Sunshine. This is the ABCube method for solving Rubik's Cubes. I like to play. I have been solving cubes since off and on, not solidly, but off and on, since the early 80s when it first came out. When the very first competition was held on TV. I don't know where it was held. It's held on TV. I watched it. I thought I was cool stuff when I watched it. Because before then, it was like, if you can, let's see here. This is from the book that I memorized to learn the Rubik's Cube. It says, other games to play, speed cubing. This is before the first competition. It is a constant challenge to try to restore the cube to the solid colors in the fastest time. Keep track of your best time, and as you get better, you will find that you are able to break your record often. The first time through the solution may take hours. However, you will easily improve on that each time you try. Try to beat the following times. 20 minutes, you're a whiz. 10 minutes, you're a speed demon. 5 minutes, you're an expert. 3 minutes, you're a master of the cube. You will probably need to memorize the solution to become an MC. If you use the expert shortcuts and memorize them, you can do even better. World class is under 1 minute. It helps you to have a very flexible cube and a good technique. Competition. Try racing with someone else or in a group. To make it fair, all around, occasionally exchange cubes. Some cubes rotate more stiffly than others. Add the scores for several runs, as in a skiing competition. Naturally, the lowest total time wins. So, I was about 3 minutes. So I considered myself hot stuff. And then I watched the first world record, and Jeffrey Varasano was 23.42 seconds, if I remember correctly. I could be remembering wrong, but it was in the 20 seconds. And I looked at the TV, and I looked at the cube in my hand, and I looked at the TV, and I looked at the cube in my hand, and I put my cube down. I said, nope. Oh, well, that's not me. Of course, now, if you can't do it under 20 seconds. But the cube back then turned roughly like this cube. Okay, there was no finger tricks, there was no cornering. It took two hands to do the things that you were doing. So Mr. Jeffrey Varasano still plays with the cube. He owns a pizzeria in Georgia, I believe. And he still cubes with the kids who bring their cubes in. I have beat him in it one time. My average is about 1.5 minutes. I'm consistently under 2 minutes, but I'm not fast. By today's standards, anyway. Good morning. Happy day. I am Sunshine. And these are some of my Rubik's Cubes. I wanted to demonstrate. If you want to practice your centers without messing up the cage part, you can do that by, I'll do this one. If you keep your corners stable to each other, then whatever twists and turns you want to make, as long as you keep your cube stable, okay, as long as you keep the corners stable to each other, before you twist. Okay. See, I want to make it visually scrambled good. Okay. Okay. As long as you kept your corners stable, then the edges did not get messed up. You can put the edges back into place, keeping the corners stable to one another. Still. And your corners and edges have not scrambled, so you can work on just the centers with still having the edges there to remind you of what column you're on. For example, to move this green to the top, I would go up, second up, and then someone talked to me and I got distracted, so as I have, which way do I turn it? Do I go this way? No, that didn't line up. This way does. So the edges are there to keep you solid on which way you went. So if you ever just want to do that, you can do that. Also when you're reassembling a large cube, you have to make sure, we were taught by the 3x3 that when you assemble it and take it apart and put it back together again, you have to put it back together again in a solve space, or you might put it in an impossible situation because each piece can only correctly be placed one way in one space. That's not the same. That's not true with the oblique centers. If you take a big cube apart, the corners of the edges and the absolute center have to be correct, but all of the rest of the centers do not have to be sorted by color when you're reassembling them, just by shape, because it's impossible to get them incorrect unless you have a shapeshifter, which I don't know about. Shapeshifters are not my friends. We have not come to read peace yet. I might still learn how to be nice with them. This is the cube I want to play with today. This is a Whit Eden 3x3x9 version 2, because it had the center is off. And the only real way to scramble it is to scramble it and then solve it by shape and then scramble it again, because otherwise if you just the only times you twist the 9x side is when it was solved. Then when you solve the 3x3 part of it, then all you have to do is twist the 9x side again and it's solved. So the only real way to get it scrambled is to do it that way. So now we have a 3x3x9. I am always more happy to chat than to monologue. I am always more happy to teach than to demonstrate. So if you have any questions or comments, or just want to tell me where you're streaming from, or what your fastest time is, what your average time is, what your fastest time is, what your favorite scramble is, what your favorite cube is, what your favorite puzzle is, oh my God, no. Or if you have any non-cuber friends who are like, I can't memorize all these algorithms, just tell me the secret so I can just solve it. I don't care about being fast. Just what's the secret to be able to put it down? This is that. I published this online in 2020, so that's 4 years ago now. I believe it is still the most recent distinct method of solve. I am, unless someone has taken it down, it is listed on Wikipedia under the professor's cube. Sorry, my camera. I can see you right there, and my camera's right there, so I'm always not looking at you. I'm sorry about that. But yeah, it is listed on the Wikipedia for the professor's cube. Scroll down to solutions on the last paragraph. Because it is a distinct solve for the 5x5. You don't have to, it's not one of those, it's not a reduction method, you know, it is a beginner's method, newbie method solve for the 5x5, and I've got lots of flack for that, like, why would you try to, why would a beginner want to try a 5x5? Learn the 3x3 first. Well, the reason why I don't teach the 3x3 first when I teach is because there's the human brain throws roadblocks in the way. And when I started by teaching with a 2x2 and then moved to the 3x3 and then to the 4x4, I would say, okay, now you already know everything you need to know. It's just a matter of just apply it to different columns. They're like, no, that looks harder. Never mind. I'm just going to stick with the 3x3. Thank you for the 3x3. So I had to stop teaching the 3x3, and I teach the four cubes all at the same time, or I teach just the 5x5 or a large cube. Because even though there are different types of pieces on the larger cubes up through the 5x5, after the 5x5 there's nothing new. For example, the 2x2 has corners, nothing else. The 3x3 adds an absolute center and some absolute edge pieces, and nothing else. Then the 4x4 has diagonal and wing side edge pieces, but with the 5x5 you've got everything. You've got the corners, the edges, the absolute center, the side edges, then the diagonal centers, and you also have the oblique centers. And after the 5x5 it's just more of the same. You don't get any new types. So I start with the 5x5. If they can solve the 5x5, they know they can solve everything below that. And I always do the corners first. So whichever cube you have in your hand, I can teach several people at a time. On my Zoom, I am set up with Zoom. So if anyone wants to actually learn or bring their non-cuber friends, I can teach in real time up to 4 people at a time, regardless of what cube they have. Because all the cubes start the same way with doing the corners. Okay, enough talk, let's play. If you are new, I'm Sunshine. Look, a couple of new faces there. I think most of your names I recognize. If you're following me, thank you so much. I appreciate that. If you're not following me, how come? I don't want pop-ups right now. I will look at your notifications later. Okay. Let's play with this one. This is the Whit Eden 3x3x9. Most people who see it say, oh, that's just striped stickers. But no, it's not. It's a 3x3. It's a 3x3x9. On the 9 side, all 9 layers rotate. So it's like a 9x9 that's spanded. Some pieces don't move. So let's scramble this one, and let's treat them the same way. Okay. Every cube that I have has yellows. Not every cube that I have is standardized colors. So I used to be color neutral, and I taught color neutral, but as I was creating the method, my alpha testers said, don't make me pick a color, tell me what to do. So I start with yellow. So put that one aside. So find a corner. Your cube has 8 corners, find a corner. Your corner has 3 colors, pick a color. Hold your cube so that color is on top and under your left thumb as you're holding your cube. And so for me it's yellow. Now we're looking at the front of the cube as if it were a spreadsheet with rows and columns. And if you take a quick look at the A and B formulas, formula A is 4 moves, it's 1 row, 1 column. For every left there's a right, for every up there's a down. Okay, so it's a mathematical 0. Formula B is 8 moves. Every other move is horizontal. Every other horizontal is the reverse of the one before, so it goes like this, back and forth. And in between the horizontals, you have a first column up, a second column up, a first column down, and a second column down. And that is all you need to solve every complexity of Rubik's Cubes. I adapt it minutely, smidgen. Try saying smidgen and minutely at the same time. That doesn't work at all. So there is one minor adaptation to make it fit the 3x9, which I'll get to at the time. But other than that, it's just Formula A, Formula B for every complexity cube. You don't need a parity algorithm. Parity algorithms are not pretty. They are fun if you've memorized them, but a parity algorithm is not necessary because a parity is always caused by the same thing and can therefore be uncaused, be undone by the same thing. And ask me about parities, or I will get to it when I get to it. So yellow corner on top, left thumb. I'm looking at the front of the cube. The arrows represent the slice you move, and the line represents the rest of the cube. So I don't need 8 arrows for 7 arrows for a 7x7. I just need 2 arrows to represent every complexity cube. So this is the cube that I chose, so because this is the cube that I chose, this is the cube that is correct. I'm going to make all the rest of the cube match it because I am that powerful. You are that powerful. The cube you selected, we're going to make everything else match it. Now, in the 90s, we always worked around the center because the center was absolute to itself. But that stopped being pertinent as soon as the master's cube, the professor's cube, it had two names. The 4x4, there was the Rubik's Revenge and something else I don't remember. So this is my corner. It's correct. I look at this corner. Is there a yellow somewhere on this cube? Is there a yellow color somewhere on this cubie? Yes. If it's on top, I just slide the top, hold the cube stable, and then put that under my left thumb to protect it. And then I'm working on this cube. Is there a yellow somewhere on here? If the answer is yes, but it's not on top, Formula A will bring it to the top. If the answer is no, I look at the corner underneath here. As long as there's a yellow somewhere on either one of these two corners, Formula A is going to bring it to the top. So let's do that. If the answer is no, I rotate the bottom by quarter turns until the answer is yes. Because you're going to find there are 4 yellow corners, because there's 4 of every color corners. So I'm going to bring the yellow corner to the top. Formula A, bottom row, right column. The action is taking place here because I'm right-handed. So I start by moving this piece away so it doesn't get lost. I bring my space down. I move this cube into that space and move this cube in the space back up again. And is it on top? No, not yet. So more Formula A's until the answer is yes. It will be 5 or less because 6 gets you back to where you started. So yellow's on top, hold the cube stable, rotate this away so that your left thumb can protect it, and let's look at this cube. And we keep doing this until the yellow's on top on all 4 corners. So there's no yellow here or here. Slide the corner, there it is. Out, down, in, up. And that's your first goal, is to bring the yellow to the top on all 4 corners. Okay, let me do that on this one. Before I start with this one though, before I do, since the I have to be able to work the 9 colors. White is one of the 3x3 sides, and yellow is one of the 3x3 sides. All the other colors are going to be on the 9 by side. So I've got my yellow on top. Before I start using Formula A, I have to make sure that the center row is horizontal of the center everywhere around, so that once I get the yellows and whites done, I'll be able to move that side. If one of them is off like that, I won't be able to turn it. So I have to start, there's pre-work to line up my center sides before I do it. And then, okay, I don't have a yellow on top, so I'm not gonna start with a yellow because I'm starting with the sides done. So I'm going to is there a yellow here? No. Is there a yellow here? Yes. So Formula A will bring it to the top. And eventually. There it is. Nope. Now you all saw that right here, and I could have just muscled it to the top, but if I did, that would change my orientation here. So Formula A and Formula B don't change that orientation. So yellow's on top, slide it out of the way to protect it. Keep going with this one. Is there a yellow? No. Is there a yellow? No. Hold the cube stable. Rotate the bottom by quarter turns till the answer is yes. And then Formula A brings it to the top. I had connection issues. I think I might have frozen for you guys. Somebody holler at me and tell me you're still here. Anybody, just holler at me and tell me you're still here. Because I had the red bar across the top that said connection issues. So you may not have seen me get my last yellow to the top. Okay, so yellow's on top on both of these cubes, and now at this point in time, one of 3 things has happened. Either all of the sides are correct to each other. All of the corners have 3 colors. Either the side colors are correct to each other, or they are not. And Either all four sides are correct, none of the four sides are correct, or one side is correct. That's the only possible solutions you can have. Unless you've been peeling stickers off, don't peel stickers off. Okay, so on this one, red equals red, green does not equal orange, blue does not equal green, orange does not equal blue. So this one has one side that matches. It's the red side. This one has red does not equal blue, blue does not equal green, red does not equal green, but orange equals orange. So both of these have one side that match. If I had no sides matching, which I'm going to force here, if I had no sides matching, then it doesn't matter which way I hold it. Oh, sorry, I have red as the top color. I should have white as the top color. Yellow is the top color. Okay, so if no sides match, it doesn't matter which way I hold it to begin, but I'm going to do Formula B, which is going to move 3 pieces around, and then I'm going to do Formula A to bring the yellow back to the top. And after no sides matching, one side will match because 3 pieces are moving around. But if you, so I'm going to do that for you. Slide up, slide up, slide down, slide down. This one stayed. These 3 all moved. So I use Formula A to bring the yellow back to the top. Keep the cube stable, rotate just the top. And now, orange or blue, there's one side that matches. When you have one side that matches, like these ones, the matching side faces away from you, and you're going to do the exact same thing. You're going to do Formula B for corners, and then A to bring the yellows back to the top. So, top row, first column, second column, slide up, slide up, slide down, slide down. This one stayed, and these 3 all moved around. Formula A brings the corners back to the top. Slide the top when it's there, but keep the cube stable because you don't want to mess up the bottom, even though when you're working on the first 4 corners you can't really tell. But Formula A and Formula B will not mess up. Well, it will only move 3 pieces at a time, so if the rest of the cube is solved, it stays solved. Okay, so yellow's back to the top, and now the corners match. Okay, let's do that for this one. Orange is the side that matches, faces away. Formula B, slide up, slide up, slide down, slide down. This one stayed, these 3 moved, bring the yellow back to the top. With Formula A, when it's on top, keep the cube stable, rotate just the top row. More Formula A until the yellow's on top, rotate just the top. And when the yellow's back on top, you check the sides, and the sides match each other. Blue equals blue, red equals red, green equals green, orange equals orange. Let's do that for this one too. The red side matches, it faces away. Slide up, slide down, and these 3 moved. So we're going to bring the yellow back to the top again. When the yellow's on top, slide it out of the way to protect it. Keep going with this corner. Slide. Okay, so whether you have no sides matches or all sides matches or just one side matches, Formula B and Formula A brings it done. If all sides match, you move on to the next step. So yellows match. The first 4 corners are happy with each other. So we're now going to work on the second 4 corners because whatever cube you have almost 4 more corners to work on. So you take the yellow corners and put them face down. I'm going to abandon them. I'm not going to. If I keep an eye on them right now while I'm working on the white corners, they're going to look like they're scrambling, and I'll panic and I'll start over again because I think I messed up. I didn't. You have to trust the process. So we're going to abandon our yellows until the whites are on top on all 4 corners. Okay. This one has white on top. This one does not. So Formula A is going to bring it to the top. Okay. White's on top. Slide it out of the way to keep it safe. Slide this one out of the way to keep it safe. Continue with this one. Formula A until the white is on top. When the white is on top again, now we can check our yellows, and they are still happy with each other. Okay. So let's bring the white to the top on these ones. Put the yellows face down. There's none to start with, so it doesn't matter which one I start with. So I'm going to use Formula A, bottom row, right column, to bring the white to the top. When the white's on top, I keep the cube stable because I don't want to mess up my yellows. I trust them. So I rotate the top row to move that white out of the way, and I continue until this one has white on top. And do Formula A until the white's on top on all 4 corners. And it will be a multiple of 6. You don't have to know that, but your cube knows that. Because a multiple of 6 only moves the pieces that you want to have moved, and it does not mess up the rest of the cube. So as long as I don't look at my yellows until the white's on top on all of them, then when the white's on top, I can look at my yellows and they're still happy, pretending they didn't just throw a party while mom and dad are out of town. Okay, so first 4 corners, yellow corners are happy. Second 4 corners are white on top, so now we check. Again, either all of them match, none of them match, or one of them matches. Red does not equal orange, blue does not equal green, red does not equal orange, blue does not equal green. So this one has 0 matching. This one has red matches, but the other 3 sides do not. So I'm going to pause this one, and I'm going to do Formula B on this one, Formula B and A on this one, and then they'll both have one side that matches. So up, up, down, down, out, down, and up, out, down, and up, slide, out, down, and up, out, down, and up. Again, don't let your yellows confuse you. Okay, white's on top again. Yellows are happy again. Okay, and now we have one side that matches. On this one it's green, on this one it's red. Either way, the matching side faces away from you. Formula B, slide up, slide down, and we just move 3 cubes around. Formula A brings it back to the top. Slide, up, slide. Kitty, no! Kitty! No, thank you. You have a scratching post. Don't scratch my chair. Thank you. Ha! Someone just followed me. Thank you, Gabby K70. Thank you so much. The little sound in my ear makes me happy. Okay, so white's on top again, and your corners, your side corners now match. Your side colors now match. Rotate the top until the top and bottom match, and your corners are now correct to each other. Okay. Same thing with this one. Our yellows are happy. Red side matches, faces away. Thank you. No problem. Okay, so red headlights facing away from you. Formula B and Formula A. And you'll notice if I do Formula B, I'm going to do Formula B for you. Up, down, down. Okay, it looks like it moved the yellow. It moved 3 whites or 3 of the top corners around, but B did not do anything to the bottom. Okay, and Formula A, to bring the whites back to the top, the yellows are dancing all around. We're going to ignore them until the whites are back on top. And now the yellows are still happy. They're back where they were. So, first 4 corners are happy to each other. Second 4 corners are happy to each other. Rotate the top row till the top and bottom match. And the 8 corners are done. You guys are awesome. Thank you for joining me. I would feel a little bit silly just doing this with no followers. Okay, but I would still have fun. All right, so the corners are correct to each other. And the only difference between this one and this one is that before I started, I made sure my side centers were horizontal, so that when I get done with the 3 by sides, I'll be able to move the 9 by sides. So this is a good time to place the centers if you have not already. Not every cube has an absolute center that you can see, but the odd ones do. So here's the white. This white wants, oh, it goes yellow. Let's do the white, sure, why not? This white wants to go to the top. I can just muscle it there, but I can't do that for this one. So if the pieces were already in place, if I did not want to mess up if I did not want to mess up any of the edges, the way to Formula A applied to this piece will move it to the top. So instead of bottom row right column, it's middle row middle column. Move the piece away from the action, move the space it wants to be in down, move the piece into the space, and the piece in space back up again. So there it is. So that's done. Do the same thing for this one. Actually, it's already placed on this one, so it doesn't matter. Okay. Yellow and white corners are done. I've been training my eyes to look for the yellow and white, so I'm going to keep looking for the yellow and white. So that Formula A and Formula B, when I'm teaching in real life or in real time, I'll say, that was fun, now scramble it and do it again. I make sure people get really, really comfortable with A and B before they move on to the next step. Because A and B is all you need for the whole entire cube. But if we start we're going to start bringing edges into it, which if you're not solid on the corners can be confusing to a newbie. So yeah, as well as I'll say, that's great. Now you did it on 3x3. Here, now do that on this one. Okay, now do that on this one. Now do that on this one. Now do that on this one. And when they're solid with the corners, then you move on to the next step. Which is, again, all you need is Formula A and Formula B. And Formula B, when we applied Formula B to the columns, it moved the corners around. So now we're going to hold the cube so that yellow and white are left and right, because we're going to keep looking for yellow and whites. So yellow and white are left and right. And I look in the middle areas, which is, on a 3x3, it's only one column wide. But on a bigger cube, there's more. So we're looking in the middle areas for yellows and whites. This is not yellow or white, this one is. So we're going to place this piece. Bring the from now we move the corners as one piece. So bring the corners to match the front. And we need to determine which direction it's going. So the corners match the front, the color on top is yellow. So the yellow and green edge piece is going to land above the yellow and green something corner. So it's going to land on this side. So for the corners, it was 2 outside columns. For all the rest of the cubes, the piece that you want to move, and for the corners too, we just didn't pay attention. The piece that you want to move is going to dictate to the U which your columns are. You don't have to remember these 2 columns do this thing. You just have to pick a cube and apply Formula B to it. So this is on the top row. So the top row is the row we're using, and it wants to go over here. So the first column is where it's going to land, and the second column is where it begins. So top row, first column, second column. And the first thing we do is move it away from the action. It wants to land over here. So the first thing we do is move it away. That's our horizontal. First up, back, second up. Reverse, down, back, down, and that cube is placed. Okay? This is not yellow or white. This one is. So this is the cube we're going to place. Bring the corners to match the front. Okay? It's red and white, so it's going above the red and white something corner. So first column, second column, start by moving away. Up, up, down, down. Okay, and that one's placed. We're just placing one piece at a time. I don't pair up my side edges on large cubes. Looking for yellow or white, yellow or white, yellow or white. When there's no more yellow or whites in the middle, we assess. Okay? So, there's no more yellow or whites in the middle, so I'm looking. Are these ones correct? Nope, this one's the white. It's on the right side, but not the right place. So this is the piece that we want to work on next. Okay, I still hold my cube, so yellow and white are left and right. But I've run out of yellow or whites in the middle, so I'm going to take this incorrect piece and Formula B, move it to the middle so I can work on it. One of these center cubes, which is fine when it's 3x3, but with the bigger it is, it doesn't matter. We just look at the piece that wants to move. So Formula B to affect this piece, away, up, in, that's the column I'm using, up, away, down, in, down. And now, there's a yellow or white back in my center where I can work on it. So yellow and white are left and right. I found a piece, want it to be on top instead of the front. Bring the corners to match the front to determine which direction it's going. So this column and this column, first column is where it's going to land, second is where it begins. So away, up, in, up, away, down, in, down, and it's placed. No yellow or white here, but there's a yellow or white here. To hold the cube, yellow and white are left and right. Active color wants to be on top, not the front, so I flip it, but yellow and white are still left and right. Corners to match the front, determine its direction. This time it's going this way. So it's actually, B is an adequate description now. That when it goes to the left, B is correct. When it goes to the right, you're using the mirror of B. So top row, first column, second column. Start by moving away, up, up, down, down. So that one's placed. Is there any more yellow or whites? Nope, no more yellow or whites, so we assess again. Okay, this one's correct, this one's correct, this one's correct, this one's not, so let's displace this one by putting one of these pieces, a garbage piece, into that spot. Oh, thank you so much! Up, up, down, down. Gabby says, you explain it so well. This is my creation. I created this method. It's my baby. I published it in 2020 on speedsolver.com and on Wix. ABCube.how is where you find me. All right, yellow and white are left and right. Here's a yellow, wants to be on top, so I flip it. Corners to match the front, and I just keep doing this over and over again. Okay, it's going this direction, so away, up, in, up, away, down, in, down, and we're placing pieces one at a time. Here's another, for as long as there's a yellow or white. Okay, corners match the front. It's going in this direction. Away, up, in, up, away, down, in, down. I also teach. So if you have a cube and you want me to help demonstrate, we can do that either here on Twitch, or I also have a Zoom set up, so I can teach up to 4 people at a time in real time, just by doing a game capture on my Zoom meeting place. Corners match the front. It's going in this direction, so I move it away, up, in, up, away, down, in, down, and yellow or white, no more yellow or whites in the middle, so I assess again. The white side is done, but the yellow is not yet. 1, 2, 3 sides are, and 1 is not. Okay, so I don't have to place this. I work, and I do this until all of the corners, also opposite edges, are done, or one is off. When one is off, because I have to displace one of them to go to the next side, but I want to show you how I'm going to demonstrate to displace it, even though I could just use that as the first displace of my next step. So I just throw a garbage piece into the middle. In other words, I'm not doing it the shortest way right now. I'm doing it the explanation way. Yellow and white are left and right. Corners match the front. Move away. First up is where it's going to land. And down and down. And so now my yellows and whites are correct. Okay. Before I proceed, so the opposite edges are done. I finally managed to get through this stage of, are you a newbie? Are you not a speedcuber? Most people that I talk to are like 20 seconds or less. So so oh, thank you. That made me so happy. I love teaching people who think they can't do it, because the way their face lights up when you do the thing and it happens is just so rewarding for me. It's just so fun. So yellow and white are left and right. Okay, we're going to we've established that formula B is an outside column and inside column, and it works on edges, and we still have more edges to do, so we're going to work on edges now. But before I start working on my side edges, I'm just going to place that right there. And also, I'm going to pause this. We're going to do the same thing over here. I'm going to work on the opposite edges on this cube as well. So yellow and white are left and right. That's one thing you'll find if you visit abcube.how. What I noticed about other people's tutorials, if I was trying to learn something like how to do the wit Eden, for example, I watch other people's tutorials, and they have a scramble, and they talk you through solving their scramble, which is fine if your cube was exactly the same scramble that theirs was. But if it wasn't, then you have to go through until you find the spot where they're talking about what you want to learn, and then you have to keep rewinding it and going over and over again until you get it. So my setup is different. Each video works on one specific spot. So I have one video for bringing the first 4 corners to the top, and I do that on this cube, this cube, this cube, and this cube. So whatever your cube looks like, hopefully I've covered what you have to understand. And then the whole other video for rearranging the top sides and bringing the yellow back up again. And so each step that you're doing, whether you want to learn the edges, whether you want to learn corners, whether you want to learn what parities are, whatever it is you want to learn, there's a whole video that just goes over and over on that so that you can learn it. And I find that is more effective for me. So I created what would have worked for me. Where did I, here we go. Okay, so we did the corners. We're working on the opposite edges now. As dictated by the corners, yellow and white are left and right. I find a yellow piece in the middle. Okay. So, corners match the front. It's going in the yellow direction. Away, first up, back, second up, away, down, back, second down. And that one's placed. Okay. White, but it's on front, so I flip the cube so it's on top. Bring the corners to match the front, and I only care about the outside corners. I don't care about the other sides. It's going in this direction, so away, up, in, up, away, down, in, down. If you have any, interrupt me with any questions you have. I'm happy to stop and pause and explain it. So corners on, white's on top, white's on top, flip it. Yellow and white are left and right, corners match the front. Determine its direction, start by moving away. First column, second column. Away, up, in, up, down, down. Okay, here's another one. More yellow or white, just keep working on the yellow and white. Corners match the front, determine its direction. Away, up, in, up, away, down, in, down. Okay, I can tell there's no more yellow or whites because my centers are moving freely. So, no more yellow or whites in the middle. So I check, I assess. Okay, this piece is right, this piece is right, this piece is wrong, this piece is wrong. Pick an incorrect piece, and I'm throwing a piece from the center into that spot to move this piece into the middle so I can work on it. So, slide up, slide down, and now I have a piece in the middle I can work on again. Yellow and white are still left and right. Corners match the front. It's going this direction. Away, up, in, up, away, down, in, down. Find another piece. Okay. Corners match the front. Move the corners together. Determine its direction. It's going this way. So, first column, second column, away, up, in, up, away, down, in, down. Find another one. Corners match the front. Determine its direction. First column, top row. First column is where it's going to land. Second column is where it is. Up, up, down, down. Okay. Look again. There's no yellow or whites in the middle anymore, so I reassess. The yellow is correct. The white has some incorrect pieces. So let's displace the incorrect pieces. Still formula A's, formula B is all you need for the entire cube. Slide up, slide up, slide down, slide down. Yellow and white are left and right. White's on top, corners match the front. Again, formula B, first column, second column. Slide up, slide down, slide down. There's another piece. Flip it so it's on top. Yellow and white are still left and right. Corners match the front. Away, first column where it's going to land. Back, second column where it is. And reverse, and it is placed. So no more yellow or whites in the middle. Yellow is still happy. White is now happy. So now, these two are comparable. Okay, what I've done on this one, I've done on this one. We've established that formula B moves a piece, an edge piece, from the top front to the side front. We've done the opposite edges, so now we're going to work on the side edges. So I like yellow more than white, so I'm going to place the white face down. White is going to stay face down for the rest of the edges. Okay, so I'm assessing the side edges. This one is not correct. This one's correct. This one is not. So my center is correct. So this one's correct. I'm going to leave it alone. This one's not correct. So I'm going to displace one of my yellows into this spot so that this piece will be on top where I can work on it. Slide up, slide up, slide down, slide down. Okay, now I'm ignoring everything on the top except for the piece that's not the top color. Okay, white stays face down. I'm holding the top row. I'm bringing the corners to match the front color. Okay, and then the second color determine which direction it's going. So the blue and orange is going to land over the blue and orange something corner, not the blue and red something corner. So it's going this way. So top row, first column, second column. Away up, in up, away down, in down. Okay. Find a piece on top that's not the top color. Hold the top row, rotate the rest of the cube until the corners match the front. Determine the orange and yellow, orange and green is going above the orange and green something, not the orange and blue something. So it's going in this direction. So again, away up, in second up, away down, in second down. And we're going to keep doing this until the yellow finds its way back to the top. And when it finds its way back to the top, it will find its way back to the top. When it finds its way back to the top, it'll either be correct or not. It doesn't matter. All we care about is that it came to the top layer. Okay. Color on top is not the top color. Corners match the front. It's going in the green direction. So first column, second column, start by moving away. Up, in, up, and down, down. Okay. Set the top. Yellow came back to the top, so we assess. Yay, it's done! Oh, I'm so happy. We've just, guys, we just taught a brand new cuber. Okay, now that won't always be that easy. Sometimes you're going to get, sometimes you have to keep displacing. So let's continue the explanation on this one until the side row is done. So we've got the corners are done, opposite edges are done. Now I'm going to do the side edge. Now the absolute center here, my absolute center is correct on these ones. Otherwise I'd do formula A to bring it to the top. I'm so happy, thank you. Okay, so the absolute center here, this is orange, these are red. I'm going to move my absolute center before I start working so that it's lined up. Otherwise I'll get a parity. Parities are not a problem. Parities are a lie. A parity is something that can happen on a larger cube or a void cube that can't happen on a 3x3, and I'm happy to explain the parities as soon as I get one. Otherwise, we'll stop and create a parity and show you how it's done. Because parities have a big old long algorithm that you have to memorize. I don't know how long it is, but it's at least 10, because that's how many Mr. Jeffrey Varasano can create a parity in, is 10 moves. But parities are lies, and I'll tell you why. Okay, so this one's done. Yellow and white are left and right. I'm putting my white face down. I'm working with my yellow, and I'm checking my side pieces. This is blue and this is red, so this piece wants to be blue and red. It's not, it's blue and orange, so I'm going to displace this piece and place it correctly. I'm going to do that by displacing one of my yellows. Okay? This is still just as if it were a 3x3. Don't let the other layers confuse you, because it's not more hard. It's not more difficult. It's not. A and B solves every complexity Rubik's cubes. I solved this cube and this cube with just A and B. I don't use any other algorithms. I don't use parity algorithms, and it also works on every complexity minx as well. Just formula A, formula B, all you need. Okay, you just find a piece you want to move and apply the formula to that. So this piece wants to move out. I'm going to white's face down for the rest of forever, or until the side edges are done. So I'm going to displace this yellow, put into here. So away up, in, up, away down, in, down. Okay, so this yellow is displaced. It's going to eventually find its way to the top. I'm going to ignore it until it does, and when it finds its way back to the top, we'll reassess. So I'm looking for the piece on top that's not the top color. Okay, so here's blue. Hold the top row, bring it till the corners match the front, just going in the orange direction. Form it first column, second column, away up, in up, away down, in down. And that is placed. Find another piece on top that's not the top color. Hold the top row, bring the corners to match the front. Determine its direction. Slide up, slide down, slide down. And my yellow found its way back to the top, so I reassess. Okay, so looking just at the middle row, okay, this one's correctly placed, this one's not. So I'm going to displace my incorrect yellow into this spot and keep going. So I'm going to displace my yellow again because it wasn't correct anyway. Slide up, slide down, slide down. Okay. Corners to match the front, going in the green direction, away up, in up, away down, in down. Okay, find a piece on top that's not the top color. Okay, we're looking only at the middle color here. Corners match the front. It's going in the green direction, so this direction, so first column, second column. Away up, in up, away down, in down. And our yellow found its way back to the top, so we assess again. This one is correct, this one's correct, this one's correct, this one's correct. And these two are in the correct spot, but they need to be flipped. Okay? There's two. Okay, so since they need to be flipped, I'm going to. I have my yellows on top. Okay, yellow is no longer going to be on top. When there's two pieces that need to flip, I flip these two, and then I flip these two. Because I can flip, let me show you how to do that. Okay. Okay. If I have two pieces that need to flip, Formula B goes from the top front to the side front. So I'm going to hold those two, these are the two pieces I'm going to flip. So I do Formula B to put this piece in here. And then I bring it to the front. And then I place it again, and that flips it. Okay, I'm using these three corners twice. Okay, so when there's two corners, but see, we had opposites that want to flip. I'll do that again. There are shortcuts that I can do it with, but the easiest way to do it is to flip two corners and then two corners again. So I'm going to flip this piece, this corner, and this corner. Okay, I'm going to do that by putting this piece into here. Up, down, down. Bring it to the front and place it again. Okay, and then these two corners flip, so now these two corners have to flip. Okay, I'm going to put it in this corner, put it in here. This puts that one here. Bring it to the front and place it again. So up, down, down, bring it to the front, and place it again. Okay, so now this is the equivalent of having done a 3x3 because the corners are done, the edges are done, the absolute center is done, and the top, middle, and so this is the equivalent of this one. Again, Formula B to displace one of the edges, bring it to the front and place it again. Okay, and then put this one here. Bring it to the front and place it again. So there we go. Ta-da! All right. All right. If you've just joined me, I'm Sunshine. Thank you for joining me. I'm the creator of the ABCube method for solving Rubik's Cubes. It's the easiest way to learn. It's not the fastest way to solve, not the shortest number of moves to solve, but it's the easiest way to learn, easiest way to teach, because there's only two formulas to memorize, 4 moves and 8 moves, and then you just pick the piece you want to move and you apply the formula to that piece, and throw it in the direction it wants to be, over and over and over again, and you're done. Now, I did not cover parodies yet. Oh, thank you so much. I'm interesting, guys. Do you have any larger cubes or just the 3x3? Oh, what is that? What is that symbol? Oh, starfish with flashing sunglasses. Thank you so much. That's cute. Okay. Do you have any questions for me? Anything you want me to cover? Anything you want me to explain? I can finish solving this one. The rest of this cube, or I can go to a bigger cube, or I can start solving the centers now. I can show you how to solve the centers now. Because I solved the corners and the edges, and the centers are all that's left now. And on a 3x3, your center's already done. But on a 4x4 or other pieces, there's other pieces. So but the centers are also solved by Formula B. There's nothing, so this is the same as this, only there I just used more columns to place. Instead of just using centerpieces, if I use the outside and the centerpieces for the 3x3. Let me show you what happens if I want to move this piece. Okay, if I want to move this, Formula B moves a piece from the top front to the side front. So if I want to move this one over here, I would go away. First column is where it's going to land. Back. Second column is where it is. And then reverse. And reverse. And that moved this piece here. And this piece here. So it always moves 3 pieces around. Formula B will always move 3 pieces around. Okay. So if I do it once, it's clockwise. Twice, it's counterclockwise. And the third time, it's back to beginning. So let me do it again. I'm going to move this piece down here, which will move this piece back to here. Slide up, slide up, slide down, and one more is going to do it again. So 3 times Formula B gets you back to wherever you started. Okay. So this is no different than this. It's just that there's more pieces to place. So it takes a little bit longer, but it's not more difficult. So the edge pieces, center pieces are also done using Formula B. You find a piece that's incorrect. I don't have to say, where's my white pieces? I just find a piece that's incorrect. Okay, it's on the front. I hold it so the incorrect piece is on the front. I'm going to throw it up to the top. So since this one's white, I want the white to be on top. It's going to land in this space, so I can bring down either the blue or the white or the green or the orange. I don't want to bring down the orange because that's an opposite to my red, which means it's going to be more hindrance to place. So I'm going to bring down this blue. Now these 2 pieces are not going to switch. B always moves 3 pieces. Okay, so this piece is going to go up here, this piece is going to go down here, and this piece will come over here. But it's still 1 row, 2 columns, looking at the face. So I follow the piece that I'm moving. It dictates for me. So I go up. The first line column was just to move it up so it's advantageous. So I go up to slide the top so it's in a different column. Now because it's on a diagonal, I have to be careful because if I go this way, it's still the same column. I can't use the same column twice. So back up. So up, slide to a different column, and that wherever this landed, that's my second column. So up again, which puts my piece to the back. Reverse, and my edges are there to line up so that I don't get confused because I'm talking or my kitty cat scratches a chair. Okay, and so I just line them up to go back down and set the top, and this piece moved here and that piece moved there. Okay, so this one's correct. I just pick a piece at random. Okay, that's on the front. I'm going to throw it to the top. So this orange is going to go land in this spot, so I can bring down either a yellow, which is not advantageous, or a red, or a yellow, or a red. So let's bring down the red. Okay, so I've offset the top to line it up. Okay, Gabby K70 is leaving. Thank you for joining me today. Thank you for following me. Go have a good day. I'm just gonna, so that's how you do, so everything is the same. Go have a good day. Everyone else has a good pausing place. Thank you for joining me. And I will be back tomorrow. guys go have a good day. Bye.